Okay, I'll talk to you about it later. But fucking indie raid.
Oh, that mile was gone? I swore I was gonna come out here in perfect timing.
I'll put it together for you. Give me a second.
Tell Miss Cadell I said hey.
Right now, yep.
I swore I was gonna come out in perfect timing.
Huh, you mind getting me some ice? You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, yeah, but dump that though. It tastes like nothing but sugar right now.
Tastes like nothing but sugar.
Yeah, like syrup.
So it is.
I know, but you know the difference is I'm gonna use this one when you bring me ice. I got it. Give me a second. Give me a second. So you can dump these. Hold on.
I'm gonna bring the ice.
I understand that, but I'm gonna dump these in here since I'm not gonna drink old soda that I didn't finish.
Yeah, there was a brand new soda
That sat there for like 3 days. I got from my mom's house. This one full. I can use this one. I opened that up this morning. All right.
What's with that break cup?
Nothing. It was one of the ones I was using.
I know, but I'm just asking you.
You want it?
You just leaving it sit there?
Nah, I didn't mean that.
Come on, dumbass, move.
That cat bad as shit. All day, every day, non-stop. Badass cat. If you on a podcast today, type your name in the comment section. Let me know if you in the league or you just a fan watching, or you there, or you here to troll. Whatever it is you do, make sure you subscribe. Ravens in the building. Reveal yourself. I'm watching. Hands on. Alright, so Corey will be going on though for the remainder of the year.
Ado?
Ado.
Ado.
I'm going on ado for the remainder. Thank you, babe.
Hey, Miss Cadell.
Max said, "What's up, Erica?" Said, "What's up with your Max?" Alright. He's on ado. Rest of the season. Back to the notes and shit. Oh man, Patriots. Ugly loss, not much else to say to describe it. I ate them all. Damn. Turnovers proved big. The Packers capitalized on Rams' errors to grab the win in Green Bay this week. The Pack. They need to make this font a little bigger. Turnover battle probably the biggest factor in the win. Packers beat the Rams 45-17, man. Packers playing at a high level right now. Clutch day from H-back Chubb versus the Ravens. That's exactly what it was. He got his own verb. You know how Moss name turned into a verb? You got mossed. Motherfucker, we calling Chubb. When Chubb doing his thing, we gonna call it chubbing. Chubbing. He getting his chub on. Chubbing. Chubbing. He went dummies in this game, man. The Browns put their faith on Chubb and came through and delivered on 202 yards on the ground. The Browns win. Ravens lose 45-38 to the Browns. Browns finish strong in the win. Baltimore prepares for Cleveland. We already prepared for them. We wasn't prepared for what happened in that run game. It was devastating to our souls, man. Oh my God. But you always take you always get something bright. You get bright spots out of situations. If you don't learn from things that happen in games, then you shouldn't be playing franchise mode. You should just be online or just watching other guys play. Which one are you? You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn from your mistakes and you gotta learn from your wins just as well. They gotta both be the same way. You gotta learn from every game you play, especially when you gotta play guys twice a season. You know, they go to bed comfortable when you win. You go to bed not comfortable when you lose. Simple as that. And then you're not comfortable until you win your next game, right? Simple as that. Some guys win and they get overly confident, or they think that shit is what it is, and it's just a reality of you won on any given Sunday. Anything can happen, right? So you got some guys that are winning right now, and guys that are expected to win really not, you know, doing their things outside of, like, when you talk about the best talent in the league, as far as coaching wise, Cardinals are showing who they are in an undefeated year so far. The only undefeated team left. Other than that, every team has two or more losses right now, and that just shows you the how do I say this? The word be on the tip of my tongue and I forget what I want to say, but it shows you how balanced our divisions are and how the balanced the league is right now as far as you know, teams. You're not going to see a separation with teams yet until you get to the GM stage of it. So you'll start to see who's the great GMs in years 2 and 3. Right now, you're going to get guys that are benefiting off of who they picked versus who they really are right now. So, and that's the fun part of the league, when you really don't know nothing about your team besides, you know, the big names you got on your team. But what do your team do well? How do you balance what they do as a team, what the players you got on your team can do, and balance it to match what you like to do on offense? You're seeing some guys have to change their whole way of playing, and I don't call it selling your soul at all. I call it understanding how to play with the team you got right now. You got guys that don't run the ball running the ball right now. You guys that run the ball trying to throw the ball right now. Like, it's just so all over the place as far as trying to put your scheme together with your team right now. That makes the league really, really, really good at this point right now. You got some guys that's starting to find their run game that wasn't really running the ball at all, and they're starting to find their run game, like Javonte Williams. He had a breakout to me. He had his best rookie game of his career against the Eagles a couple of advances ago. I'm going to talk about some of these guys that are stepping up amongst the league right now that I think that are going to be a big part of what their teams are and what their teams are going to do going forward. So let's start here and go with the Broncos. I want to talk about the Broncos and rookie running backs today. So the first thing we're going to go to is we're going to go to Javonte Williams and just look at what he's doing over the course of the season right now. All right, look at season games, man. Let's go back to week 1 and see how he's progressed during the year. All right. So the Broncos, they did make the trade for Tua. They did that, I think, after the Jets game. They had him for the Ravens game and on. So week 4, Tua became the starting quarterback over there for the Denver Broncos, and I think he's going to be their franchise quarterback for right now. We do have a GM that's, very, very particular in what he do, how he do things, and how he put his team together. So as of right now, we have to hold the cards of, yes, Tua is their franchise quarterback, and he's probably going to be that for a while until something else tells us different. Raheem Skibibbles hasn't given us no type of updates on the Broncos and what they planning on doing at the quarterback spot. They made the big trade. That was a blockbuster deal that happened. And Teddy Bridgewater went to the Dolphins, and Teddy Bridgewater's got the Dolphins with only 3 losses right now. So, you know, with your trash becomes somebody's treasure. Simple as that. Here you go.
How do you feel about that?
About what? The Tua trade?
About the Tua trade, but just like the whole like Teddy getting cut, then picked up by the team that traded their quarterback away, and now Teddy Bridgewater's only got 3 losses over there in Miami. Like, how do you think that like Teddy could? You think Teddy's going to be their guy this and next season now with the way he has the team? Like, what do you early thoughts about this?
I think as long as Teddy is winning for them right now, I mean, first of all, it was smart that he cut him and didn't send him over in a trade. Cutting him probably saved him some dough from not trading. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. And then the Dolphins were smart to pick up Teddy because they would have had to deal with Brissett as their quarterback. And Teddy is a serviceable quarterback. He can be a starter in this league. He's proven that in real life. I mean, look what he had the Broncos doing. I know they didn't play anybody early, but look what he had them doing in real life. You know what I'm saying? Up into that Ravens game last week. So I like Teddy over there because he's a quarterback that can win, and he's also a quarterback that's been playing a backup role ever since his major injury in Minnesota years ago. But he's a starting quarterback, bro. He's very, very accurate. He has enough scrambling in him to be able to extend drives and stuff like that. And I think when you got speed burners like Will Fuller, who they're not really using, I heard he was on the block over there, but Jalen Waddle's over there. So you got your little baby Tyreek over there that can run all over the place, and I think he has a serviceable arm to better reach this guy deep downfield, especially on a run. So I like it. I like it completely. I don't think that he is going to continue to be the starting quarterback over there. It's just something about Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You think it's something about Teddy that the coach won't like? You know.
Yeah, nah. I think he'll be trying to find him a quarterback. Hold on. Delayed release date. Oh my God, October 22nd. Let's see what happens here. We getting a report on the scout and shit. Oops, your game crashed. My game ain't crashed. I'll talk about that. Good look, Shoguns. I'll read that later on. That could be a plug for me. Matter of fact, let me send this to you, Max. If you can get this open, please send it back to me.
All right.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know you texted me yesterday. I see it now. All right, so read that. See if you can get that open. See if we can figure out what's going on over there. All right, so when you look at Javonte Williams, his start to his rookie campaign, he had 5 carries in the first game against the Giants, 5 carries for 25 yards. But he had 5 yards a carry. Javonte Williams, to me, you know, anytime you're running back averaging 5 yards a carry, you would think that you want to give him the ball more. But it was his rookie game. I don't know how that game was going. 35-21 was the final score. And there was a lot of defense playing in that game. So maybe, you know, it just strung him along. He really didn't get active in that game. But then he came back against the Jaguars and he had 18 carries for 94 yards, another 5.2. He scored his first rushing touchdown week 2. Came back and had 9 carries for 28 yards, 3.1 against the Jets. The Jets played really good against him. He had 1 touchdown then. So as you can see, he's really not getting active. 6 carries, 28 yards against the Ravens, 4.7, so close to 5 yards again, 1 touchdown. And then the Steelers, he touched the ball 12 times, 44 yards, 3.7. So it's like you're getting rookiness out of him. You're really not, you know, damn, bro. Come on, this is Javonte Williams. What's up with him? 7 carries against the Raiders for 6 yards a carry and a touchdown. And since that Raiders game, you saw the change. Now, the problem is when you got a strong running back like that. I mean, I'm not gonna call him a super big back, 5'10", 215. But when you got a back like that, you have to. The more carries they get, the better they get as, you know, the game goes. And I just think the weapons around Tua, and then having Tua, you have to be in a situation where you have to get Tua accustomed to your playbook and what you're doing. And then the other thing I don't think people realize is you have to understand how to throw with a left-hand quarterback, and that presents challenges when you know, you're playing with a left-hand quarterback presents challenges on how you see the field, how you looking at the field right now. Because at the end of the day, for the most part, you see guys not really throwing to circle receivers. Everything is about square, or, you know, a lot of guys is just tight end dumps or tight end delays all game long, and then it's crossing routes. And a lot of the crossing routes come from the left side to the right versus the right to the left, unless they in that tight flex shit where they run the play action post play that everybody and mama runs. Where they'll hit the crossing route from right to left instead of left to right. So, and that's a whole nother subject when you get to guys that think they really dotting up the field and ain't dotting up the fucking field. All right, are you ready to give me a plug? Go ahead, plug it. What they talking about?
So it's basically it's the update, the improved scouting that we were supposed to have. The article is basically saying that the update is too late for franchise players this year. They are delaying it again. So we had the mid-September supposed to be when it came, then it was supposed to be like October, like a first type of thing, and now they're getting another delay. And some people are fearful that it's basically going to be something we feel more in like Madden 23 than 22, because of the simple fact that guys are not going to want to start their franchise mode over, you know what I'm saying, once the update. Yeah, so there's some, like, a lot of I guess they did it like they're trying to figure out people, like, you know what I'm saying, they're figuring out people are really starting franchises and getting into them now, and like the fact that the update is something that was promised on release and now it's not even here after the second, third patch.
So they fucking delayed it again, pretty much.
They delayed it again, yeah.
All
but they're
right, so
saying
again,
that
EA selling this product, making us pay full price for a product that they didn't give us what they were supposed to be delivering. Same shit over and over again.
Over and over.
So if you're a franchise guy, don't wait for it. Now, in my sense, we start a second league all the time during the second half of the disc, so we'll probably run across it. Jesus. What's good, bro? You see we doing the show? What'd you say? Huh? Oh yeah, we on the show. Are you on the game? All right, I'm gonna get Max to send you an invite. Is there something you need to holler at me about? I need to unplug? Yeah, we plugging it right now on the show. Max just read it out loud. They pushed it back again. So it don't affect us really because we already started our league. But you know, when we start real draft and Junkies 3, if it's here, then we'll benefit from it. If not, you know, I advise everybody that's running the franchise to just run their franchise. Don't even worry about it.
Might as well just get that shit started.
All right, we sending you an invite.
Who's that, Guns?
Yeah, send Guns an invite. All right, so again, now you're starting to see Javonte Williams do his thing. 7 carries against the Raiders, but he had 5.96 yards a carry pretty much and a touchdown. And now from there, you're not going to see nothing under 5 yards a carry. So against the Browns, he came and stole a win 35-25. They played really well. But this is one of those games where if I clicked on that game, you can guarantee Boone didn't run Chubb at all the way he did because he probably didn't respect the player he was playing. And because of that, you know, he's taking losses that he really shouldn't be taking right now at the end of the day. Then they lost to the football team 9-34 in a game where everybody was fucking tired as dirt on the field. 9 carries, 54 yards, 6 yards a carry. I would have thought he'd have gave him the ball more there. And then against the Cowboys, he back-to-back losses, but he did have 14 carries, 71 yards, and 5.1. And then he had his breakout game. Played the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 14 carries for 166 yards, 12 yards a carry, and 3 rushing touchdowns. So we're going to see Javonte going forward. I do see him being a 1,000-yard back before it's all said and done. Right now he's at 661 yards, so he's 400 yards away, a little under 400 away to get to that 1,000 yards. So we will see him as a 1,000-yard back, averaging 6 yards a carry with 7 rushing touchdowns right now. When you still look at rookie running backs, you got to slide all the way to Pittsburgh and look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and see what Najee Harris is doing over here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, so obviously he's the man on this team. He's getting the ball a whole lot. 201 carries for 1,154 yards. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry with 17 rushing touchdowns, averaging 115 yards a game, 115 yards a game, and he only fumbled the ball 1 time. And as you look at what he's done in his games, as you look at each individual game he played this year, we can say this. Najee Harris wasn't a back that got slow walked. He got the ball from day one. 26 carries against the Bills, 154 yards, 6 yards a carry. Then he comes back against the Raiders and I don't know if he even played this game or not, but he had 9 carries, 2.3 yards. That's some rookie shit. You expect your rookie to just not have a good day. He still got to catch up to the speed of the league. Bengals, 23 and 138. 3 touchdowns, then he comes back. He loses to the Packers, but he still has 17 carries for 112 yards, almost 7 yards a carry, 2 rushing touchdowns. He loses to the Broncos, 21-13. He had 20 carries for 84 yards, 4.2 and a touchdown. Against the Seahawks, 21 carries, 81 yards, 3.9, almost 4 yards a carry. Against the Browns, when he pulled off a big one, he had 18 carries, only 63 yards though, 3.5 yards a carry, and a touchdown. But they beat the Browns. And the Bears, they beat the Bears as well. These 2 top-tier coaches that they beat, 37-23 in that game. He had 27 carries. I mean, this is when you got to get a win. You know you can lean on the back. If you got that type of back, 27 carries, 217 yards, 8 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. And he's been on fire since then. And then he get the Chargers. He didn't play that game, obviously. So, the computer did that, but I'm quite sure if that was him playing, that would have been a 100-yard outing as well. So 19 carries against the Lions for 216 yards and almost 12 yards a carry for a rushing touchdown. Najee balling, he's already a 1,000-yard back. I don't know what we got, about 6 games left. Do you think he can reach 2,000 yards before it's all said and done?
What number is he at total?
1154.
Wow, 6 games.
You can almost bank on him at advance when he got to play the Ravens that he's going to get that man almost 30 carries.
30. I was about to say 30 carries.
Guys play me differently. They're going to run the fucking football.
He's going to end the season with 300 carries for sure. So I would like to see 2,000 yards out of that. Truth be told. So.
Yeah, I think he's going to end the season with about 300 carries as well. All right, so we continue on with our rookie running backs right now. And you got to go down here to the African, KNG. That's what I was calling him, right? I'm not going to sit there and act like I could pronounce his name. I could ask Wifey to pronounce that name. She ain't going to better pronounce that shit either. She looked at it and said, hell no. So KNG, now what's good about him is that he's not the main back over there. All right, Dalvin Cook is 138 yards. 138 carries for Dalvin Cook, but this guy's on his way to 100 carries right now, 308 yards a carry, 3.47 rushing touchdowns. I'm not going to dig into his individual games because he's not a starter. We just want to be able to keep a watch and an eye out on KNG, because if the price was right, Dalvin Cook would have been in another uniform. But the deal didn't get worked out, so we'll see. Now we're going to go to the next rookie running back that I need to talk about on this list, and that's all the way going into the Jaguars offense. And we're going to look at, you sent Shogun an invite?
Yeah, he already has one. He's on the phone with his boss.
All right, so Travis Etienne right now, man, he's probably the second fastest rookie running back that came out in 2020-21. So Etienne has 188 carries. He's on his way to 1,000 yards. One more game, he'll be a 1,000-yard rusher. He's averaging 5 yards a carry, 14 touchdowns on the season, 2 fumbles, 937 rushing yards. We'll dig into his individual game performances and see what he's done individually game-wise. Season stats, so slide down here. I wonder if I can go up and get down. Nope. Gotta go all the way down. All right, so week 1 against the Texans, 15 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Against the Broncos, didn't play that game, but he literally wasn't used. 2 carries, 8 yards. 22 carries against the Cardinals, 95 yards, 4.3 and a touchdown. 17 for 60, 3.5. Actually, the Jaguars probably had the best, the closest score to the Cardinals all year. Yeah. 35-28. He had 60 yards against the Bengals and a touchdown. Then he comes back and have a 20 carry performance in the loss to the Titans, 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then he comes back against the Dolphins and he carried the ball 22 times, but only had 59 yards rushing, 2.7. He got kind of stuffed with that underrated defense over there for the Miami Dolphins. They do have a really good defense. Then he explodes against the Seattle Seahawks, where they scored 70 points in that game. 29 carries, 174 yards, 6 yards to carry, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Since then, he went on a 3-game, 100-yard running streak where he carried the ball 20 plus or more carries, and he was over 100 yards. 147 against the Bills, and he comes back and had 153 against the Colts. And then in the 49ers in the first one, he had 58 yards, 3.2 and a touchdown. He probably would have been a 100-yard back in that game as well, but he didn't get to play it. So Travis Etienne is playing well. So between Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, they are playing the best right now. And then you got Javonte Williams, who are, you know, possibly all the first-round graded running backs coming out of that draft in 2021. They all are playing at a high level. All three of them are starters, and they're playing pretty well. Let's go look at the Jets and look at MC8 and see how he's coming along right now. All right, so Michael Carter, 158 carries, 6'6", 79 right now, 4.3 and only 3 rushing touchdowns. Michael Carter was another one of those 2021 running backs that came out that we want to keep an eye on. So we'll keep an eye on him. He is the starter over here, so we got to definitely see how he's, you know, faring from here on out. I don't know if there were any other running backs that we can say was a starter as a rookie. No, I doubt it.
Yeah, Hubbard's not a starter, but you got Chuba Hubbard.
Is he giving him? Let's see how many carries he giving him.
When I played him, he gave him some good amount of carries. So if I recall, let me think though. Patriots got J.K.
I'm here. 30 carries not enough to talk about.
Oh no, never mind then. It must have just been that game.
So then we're gonna look at the rookie receivers running around right now. So I'm gonna go to the passing game. We'll go to receivers, and since we're on the Ravens, we'll stay with the Ravens. So Rashad Bateman, first-round receiver, 40 catches on the season right now, 914 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's averaging 83.1 yards a game, 22.9 yards a catch. Bateman is playing pretty well right now. He's doing his thing. You know, he's definitely looking like one of the top rookie receivers that start and that came out. We're gonna go to the big names. So let's talk about the first receiver that was drafted, and that was Ja'Marr Chase. Now a lot of this is computer love. So 59 catches for 805, 9 touchdowns. So Ja'Marr Chase is not having a bad rookie season, even though the coach ain't playing games really. The next receiver that came out was it Devonte Smith was the second receiver to come out, or was it your guy Tony? I think Tony came out before.
Devonte came out because we traded our pick back. We got Tony at 20, Devonte at 14.
Okay, so we're looking at Devonte Smith, 42 catches on the year, 847, and 5 touchdowns right now. Let me ask you this: do you think he's playing well right now, or do you think he's not playing well right now? Especially coming out as a receiver for the Eagles, he should come out and be their best receiver right away.
I think he's playing well. I think he had a little bit of a slow start, but I feel like he is their guy as he doubles up on the receptions to the next receiver and doubles up on the yards. He is their guy.
Waddle was the second receiver off the board. He right though, but since we on Devontae, let's stay here, and I want to go into individual games.
Yeah. I forgot about Waddle. Damn.
Waddle was having a record-breaking season though. All right, so let's go look at the games he's played so far. We know this guy played all his games. He had 5 catches in the open day for 74 yards. It took him to week 3 to get a touchdown, but he had 5 catches in the loss against the 49ers, 44 yards. And then he exploded against the Cowboys, 7 catches for 242 yards, 34.6, 35 yards a catch, and 2 touchdowns. Then against the Chiefs, he got held to 1 catch, 19 yards, and then he went on his little slump. Panthers, 2 catches for 12 yards. Buccaneers, 3 catches for 46 yards. Raiders, 2 catches for 25 yards. Lions, 1 catch for 8 yards. Then he started to wake up again. Against the Chargers, he had 5 catches for 88 yards. No touchdowns, but then he also had 7 catches for 74 yards against the Broncos, and then last week he went dummies. This is why his touchdown per total went up, because against the Saints he scored 3 touchdowns in a 215-day performance. So he was catching bombs, 53.8 yards. He was going yard in that game. So Devontae, keep an eye on him right now. Right now, Rashad Bateman numbers are better than his so far. And then you go look at the guy that came out before him, and Jalen Waddle, and he's doing Jalen Waddle things. Equivalency to, is he playing? He kind of playing the same. You know, when we had him out, when I got him at pick 3 in real draft last year, at the end of 21, when we did real draft, those numbers aren't that, but the touchdowns are. They're up there. This guy got 58 catches, 1571, and 24 touchdowns right now. He is balling.
I'm definitely impressed, especially with the quarterback change. Thinking you going over there to, you know, somebody you super familiar with Tua, and then they switch it up and give you fucking Teddy Bridgewater, and he's still out there getting the job done. No excuses from Waddle, so I'm
None.
impressed.
None. And at the end of the day, when you game plan for the Dolphins, he has to be somebody you consider right away. This is something that your defensive coordinator has to spend extra time up at night trying to figure out how to stop that speed. 5 catches in the loss against the Patriots. He had 106 yards and a touchdown. He comes back against the Bills, three catches for 109 yards. That tells you the speed right there. 3 touchdowns. The guy touched the ball 3 times, scored 3 touchdowns. Then he comes back against the Raiders and have an 8-catch game, 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. He kind of disrespected the Raiders. This is when we started to realize, all right, we're dealing with a monster on our hands right now. This is not an average receiver whatsoever. This was a great pick by the Dolphins, and this guy is going to be a problem going forward. Then he goes up against the Colts, 7 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. He plays the Bucks, 3 catches, 59 yards, and a 45-7 ass whooping. He scored their only touchdown. Then he gets to the Jaguars. He had 5 catches for 125 and 2 touchdowns. This guy is a 100-yard getter every game so far. Falcons, 10 catches, 305, 4 touchdowns. Went dummies in that game. Lost to the Bills, 6 catches, 109 yards, but still seen the end zone. Then he got the Texans big time, 6 catches, 251. Half of his catches was touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Then he gets to the Ravens. He had 2 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. He had a 54-yard bomb against the Ravens. But then I thought this was a little crucial here because he had the 50-yard long play, and then he didn't finish the game with 59 yards. But they won the game. That's what matters, right? And I thought, let's pay attention to that. Because I thought, maybe the Ravens showed a little something. And then he gets to the Jets and he goes dummies in that game. 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, 168 yards. Waddle is playing lights out. He's having an MVP-like season right now. I doubt he's going to win an MVP of the league, though. But there's no way possible that he won't win Best Wide Receiver in the AFC and Rookie of the Year over here with them type of numbers. All right, so after Waddle, what was the other first-round receiver that came out?
So that means it was Waddle, then it was Devonte, and then Kadarius Toney.
All right, so let's go to the Giants. All right, so Kadarius Toney is third on their team with 18 catches. Their leading catcher is tight end Evan Ingram with 29. Then Galladay with 17. So he averaged 15.3 yards a catch, 27.6 yards a game, 2 touchdowns. Kadarius, for a first-round receiver, let's be honest right now, should you be playing better with him?
Definitely. He kind of had a slow start too, hence why his snaps aren't really there. He was doing a lot of, he's giving a lot of drops. Not gonna lie. First half of the season, Sterling Shepard was kind of like controlling that slot role that we wanted to get Kadarius Toney into, and then just with a little bit more progression, he's getting the looks now. But I definitely should have been doing a lot better with them.
All right, so he didn't touch the ball. He did not get active in the Broncos game, but then the football team, he had 2 catches, 3 against the Falcons, 2 against the Saints, 2 against, seemed like the theme somewhere between 2 and 3 catches a game. He did not get active in the Rams game, comes back in the Panthers game, 3 catches. Now we're going through the season so far. He had 1 touchdown against the Falcons, and then he goes on a no touchdown run all the way up until week 11. And then he scores again against the Bucks. Or you didn't even finish this game. I don't know what he did in that game when y'all was playing, but the game dropped, so y'all didn't get to record it.
The game against Craig, I ain't gonna lie, I had a recorded drop. He had like 5 catches. He was killing. He was capped for 5 catches, but he didn't score. No, he didn't score.
All right, so that's Kadarius Toney. Did we have any other first round receivers that came out?
No. No, I don't think so.
All right. Let's go look at some defense and stuff. Let's see what's going on amongst the league right now. Let's go from Giants to back up to NFL. All right, bango. Here we go. NFL right now. All right. So the leading tackler, I will not talk about teams that are not playing. So if you're giving out forced wins and pretty much tanking, your stats don't count. So we go to JOK, the African from Notre Dame. This is a great pick. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The Browns are fucking loaded. And this is one of those players that are great. Not only is he a good big name in real life, but he's a great Madden player, great speed for a linebacker, and boom, moved him to the middle linebacker, and he's leading the league in tackles with 79, 8 tackles for loss, and he got 3 interceptions on the season right now. The next linebacker that's balling out is Miles Jacks with 78 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, a sack and a half, and he got 8 INTs right now from the middle linebacker spot. We're not going to talk about him. Isaiah Simmons is the next guy with 75, 7 tackles for loss, and 8 INTs as well. Then you got young rookie Chaz Surratt with 75 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, and 2 INTs on his young rookie career right now. Roquan Smith is balling as well with 74 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, a sack, and a pick. Rashaan Evans, 73, 2-1. Logan Wilson, no. Troy Dye, 69, 6, 2-1. And then we're going to leave that and go talk about tackle for loss. Let's see who's stopping guys in the backfield in a game where it's hard to stop guys in the backfield. I'm impressed with Eric Rowe coming from the safety spot. I played him. He's not in the sub linebacker. Like, so you'll see these tackle for loss and you'll think, oh, he got him. He got to have him a sub linebacker. No, he's following the rules. This guy is really playing safety back deep, and he's getting these tackle for losses, and he's leading the league right now, tied for first with 11 tackle for losses right now. Rashad Gary, New Jersey native, Rashad Gary. That's yours, or?
Yeah.
Hold on. Where the fuck I do with those keys?
Oh, no, they are.
That's the keys? They the ones? Alright. Alright. So here we go. Who I'm talking about right now, Rashad Gary with 11 of them things. Rookie Jason Oweh, man. No way Oweh with 10 tackle for losses right now. J.J. Watt, veteran out there with 10. Just Jeffrey Simmons with 10. You got Myles Garrett, who's an animal, with 10. Young rookie Cameron McGrone with 10. Dante Fowler for the Falcons. We're not going to talk about Kenneth Murray. Jalen Phillips with 9. And then Khalil Mack with 9. This fucking cat can't help itself. That lighter don't work.
This one, no.
No. Quentin Williams for the Jets with 9 too. A whole bunch of 9s. Let's look at the sack leaders so far right now, man. Here we go. Matthew Judon, man. He's not only playing well for the Patriots in real life, but the kid is balling over there and on the game with 13.5 sacks. All right, then you got Khalil Mack, who found his position at DN instead of outside linebacker this season with 12, along with Chase Young with 12. That Washington football front 7 is fucking ridiculous. Emmanuel Ogbah. This is why I say the Dolphins have an underrated defense. We know their secondary is really legit, but you're starting to see him piece together some front 7 guys where they're making plays for him. 11 sacks is big. And then you got another rookie hammer, Nasir Dean, with 11 from Florida State, sitting over on the Baltimore Ravens roster in the trade with 11 sacks right now. Donnell Hunter, who we know is a great Madden player as well, with 11 of them things. And then the guy you wouldn't expect to be up there right now, Vicky D. There's something about fault with these defensive linemen that he usually get a guy in, and you saw what he did with Vicky D in real drive. He's doing it again at 10.5. And then Hitter got 2 guys with double-digit sacks right now coming off the edges, and Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Then you got J.J. Watt from the D tackle spot, and his brother T.J. Watt, both got 9 apiece. Chandler Jones, veteran, sitting there with 8.5, Bud Dupree with 8.5, and then Brian Burns, and then Mekhi Parsons 7.5, Winovich 7 as well, Rashawn Gary, Bradley Chubb, and then you start to get to these 6.5 guys with Oweh, Ford, and Winter Williams for the Giants. All right, INTs right now. Who's picking the ball off at a high level? We got linebackers, but Denzel Ward, man, he had a nice little pick 6. I think it was a pick 6 against me last night. He got 10 on the season, first DB to get to double digits. Now I like to see this. You're seeing a lot of corners are your top INT guys right now. You got Tre'Davious White, and all these guys are big name corners. Xavier Howard, these guys are all shutdown corners. William Jackson III, now that he's playing for Washington and not the Bengals, he's starting to look like a guy that can shut down the side of the field as well. Then you get to the linebackers, Isaiah Simmons, the man in the middle, who's he's probably the fastest middle linebacker in the game, should be doing what he's doing. Micah Hyde, the veteran at safety. I won't talk about Adderley. And then Miles Jack got 8 of them things with Javon Highland. You're starting to see a lot of these Dolphins up here as well. You get to the 7 guys, rookie, Tay Gowan balling out. Kenny Moore the second. Cade Stearns at the safety position. Eric Stokes, Hurlberg's got him playing well. Sean Murphy Bunton is playing well. And then Jerry Jacobs, the no-name Jerry. Mr. No-name. Who? Jerry Jacobs. Who that? Who? What we call him again? Jerry Jacobs who? Shutdown corner Jair Alexander got 7 on the year as well. And in your 6 guys, you got Mike Hughes for the Chiefs, Eric Rowe for the Dolphins. They balling. You see the state. Sean Wade was 6. Darius Slade was 6. Patrick Surtain was 6. They get 6 guys right now, man. I'm gonna look at some things real fast. Let's look at who is causing fumbles. Who is getting these turnovers out here right now? Alright, so it looks like Hammer, Florida State, baby, FSU. Stand up. Hammer with 3. Dante Fowler with 3. Middle linebacker Kenyon Neal with 3. He's a hard hitter as well. And then JOK with 3. And then you're coming down to Bud Dupree with 3. D tackle Javon Kinlaw. Akeem, not going to talk about him. Khalil Mack, we're not going to talk about all 2s now. Who is taking shit back to the crib? Alright. Falky got the young rookie with 3 returns right now. Now he got 3 return INTs. Patrick Queen got 2. Kenny Moore the second with 2. You got a whole bunch of 2s. Deion Jones, Shaquille Griffin, Byron Murphy Jr., Bradley McDougal at safety, William Jackson the third with 2, John Johnson the third with 2, Denzel Ward with 2. Taking shit back to the crib. Yes, sir. All right, let's get back to offense right now. Quarterbacks in their passing game right now. Let's see who's doing what. Here we go. Kyler Murray leading the league with 4,215 yards. Mahomes is second with 4,006. And Lamar Jackson from the pocket this year, man. Let me ask you, Max, are you impressed with the fact that Lamar Jackson is not being a runner at all this year? He's showing that he can be a pocket passer, that he could throw outside the numbers, he could stand in the pocket and beat you with his arm and not his feet.
Yeah, I think that it just went ahead and shut the narrative of, you know what I'm saying, the real life haters have and all the Madden haters, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just shut the narrative up, and it kind of keeps people on their toes. You know, they saw some of how productive the running is. I'm sure everybody assumed that you were going to be on, like, you know what I'm saying, straight power, power, Marmar left, Marmar right.
Because I can fall forward with him anytime I want to, be honest
Exactly,
with you.
that's what I'm saying, exactly. So I figured everybody just felt like you was going to be on that shit. People probably coming out in dumb defense, and now you going yiggity on them. And, you know what I'm saying, it just fits the narrative that's the true narrative. Marmar will dot you the fuck up.
And the whole thing is, he do got to turn down interceptions and turn up that completion percentage, 61 and 29 picks right now. 10 more touchdowns than INT. So, as well as he is throwing from the pocket, he also is, got to get better at the percentage and INTs though. But yeah, so like we're not running Lamar right now because that's the trip I'm on. I'm always trying to kill narratives right now, so I'm using him, trying to just build him as a thrower right now, knowing what I can do with him as a runner already. You go to stats, like I'm really not even running at all with him really. Like let's go look at his rushing stats real fast, see what he's doing on the year. Alright, 45 carries for 335 yards, 7.4 yards a carry, only 4 rushing touchdowns. Those numbers are really down from what I'm accustomed to doing with him right now. But, a lot of it is part of that energy shit, that fatigue shit. We don't want to be running him all crazy right now. Save him for the offs if we make the offs. Save him for the offs. All right, so Baker Mayfield is throwing at a high level right now too. 66% is very high completion percentage. 30 touchdowns, 24 INTs. Josh Allen is on this list as well. 26 touchdowns, 16 picks, 67%. Aaron Rodgers is balling on his way to 3,000 yards. Tom Brady's on his way to 2,000 yards, 74%. I think he might be the highest completion percentage quarterback we got right now. And he only threw 9 picks so far in 11 games, 25 touchdowns. Kellen Mond, 21 touchdowns, 23 picks. We expect that from a rookie with that 61% completion ratio, but he's balling. And Deshaun Watson's got to find himself. He's starting to turn it around a little bit. 18 touchdowns, 23 picks at 66% completion. So he's playing at a high level too. You get to the run game and see how many 1,000-yard backs we got. That tells you what this is really about. J.K. Dobbins on his way to 2,000. He's only a couple yards away from that. Nick Chubb with 217 carries, 1488, averaging 7 yards a carry with 21 rushing touchdowns as well. Ronald Jones is the next guy with the most carries, 239, 1383, 21 touchdowns. He balling out right now. Saquon with 176, 1324, 7.5, and 15. I would say guys are lucky right now because you one of those guys too that listen to the narrative. You like me, so I'm quite sure if you gave Saquon the carries these other guys are getting right now, would have already been a 2,000-yard back already. Aaron Jones, 232 yards, 1324. Now, out of all the running backs with 1,000 yards right now, I'm more impressed with Aaron Jones. Even though he's a superstar, he can do that. But the person that's using him usually don't do that. So the fact that Hillberg is shitting with Aaron Jones makes a lot of sense. And he got 232 carries, which I think makes him third on the list, most carries. Might even be second on the list with most carries.
I think he's third.
I'm going to it right now. Let's see. Yep, number 2. He's number 2 on the list. J.K. Dobbins is 3. Nick Chubb is 4. Elliott is 5. Jonathan Taylor 6. And Najee Harris 7. All right, let's get back to the yards now. 1,000-yard backs. We got a whole lot of 1,000-yard backs right now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Saquon 5, 6. Elliott with 1272 on 13 touchdowns. Then you got Tyson Williams. Reached the 1,000 yards, so the Ravens still have a 1,000-yard running back after trading J.K. Dobbins away. 12-18, 15 touchdowns. Derrick Henry reached 1,000, 1183. Najee Harris is 1154. Jonathan Taylor is 1040, and then Cam Akers is a 1,000-yard back with ETN on his way to 1,000. Most start, and I would say Antonio Gibson and Cook all are on their way to 1,000 yards. But as you can see, we got a lot of 1,000-yard running backs right now. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 players, running backs in the league right now have 1,000 yards or more. You go to touchdowns, you got high volume of touchdown runners. 23 with Dobbs, 21 with Chubb, 21 with Ronald Jones. Derrick Henry 19, Najee Harris 17, Akers 17, Barkley 15, Williams 15, and Montgomery 15. I'm impressed with Montgomery. He should be a 1,000-yard back as well. Now, when we get to the receivers, you ain't going to see the same thing over here at receivers. You're going to see a few, but you're not going to see a whole bunch of 1,000-yard receivers. Reek still leading the league with 1984. Hollywood Brown second with 1572. Jalen Waddle with 1571. Rondell Moore with 1394. Isabella with 1150. And then Anthony Schwartz with 1092. Rashad Bateman 914. Seth Williams is the name none of us would have expected. From practice squad to number 1 receiver for the Lions. Simple as that. 908. Jared Cook, the tight end. Don't talk about that. Tylan Wallace 39 catches for 894. Kelsey with 874. DeAndre Hot with 850. So you see that the Cardinals are about to have 3,000-yard receivers over there with double-digit touchdowns. So they going what they're accustomed to do, huh?
You got 2. Both your leading receivers is rookies, Wallace and Bateman?
Yeah, Wallace and Bateman.
Oh, shit.
So you got Hollywood Brown already in 1,000 yards, but Bateman, Tylon has 894. He a game or two away from 1,000 yards. Rashad Bateman is at 914, 10 touchdowns, and then Hollywood is second in the yards right now with 1572.
You said Falky already got 3,000-yard receivers, so you all up on the same shit.
Yeah, Falk got Rondell Moore and Isabella 1394 and 1150 with 17 and 15 touchdowns, and then he got veteran Nuke Hopkins right here with 850 and 10 touchdowns. So he got 3 guys with double-digit touchdowns and about to have 3,000-yard, three 1,000-yard receivers. And we'll have it too. We got Hollywood with 17, Bateman with 13 touchdowns and 914. So 1 game away from 1,000. But Tylon got the yards, but only 4 touchdowns though. But he 894, so he on his way to 1,000 as well. At the receiver position. So guys are playing, man. You got guys are balling, but we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers with 1,000 yards currently or more. right now. But when you go to touchdowns, man, nobody's doing it like Jalen Waddle. 24 touchdowns, and Dennis Reek with 20. These guys are balling. Your next up are Hollywood Brown and Isabella, right? And then you see all the top receivers are 94 speed and above. You go to Jalen Waddle, and you look at speed. Speed kills. 99 speed, 99 excel. The guy's flying right now. You know, Reek, I don't even have to click on him. You know, he's 99, 99. Hollywood, good speed. I think he like 97 speed, 94 excel, something like that. Yep, 97, 94. Isabella should be 95, 95. Unless he went up some. He's shitting with Isabella. He on normal too. 95 speed, 93 excel. Again, you're seeing all the top receivers right now that are 1,000 yards or higher, all are faster than 94 speed. You got Rondell Moore, 95 speed, 96 excel. You get down to Anthony Schwartz, we know he's flying. Let's look at him and see what he's doing. 97 speed, 95 excel.
Now, that's what I'm saying. Are you like impressed like with, I know it's Falk, but like, do we let that go under the radar with like, he's got some short ass receivers and then a D-hop, and they're not developed for like shitting for 1,000 yards, 3 of them?
Yeah, because I'm impressed, but I'm not impressed because it's like, expected. Falk always, if you give Falk speed at the receiver position, this is what he do with it. Simple as that. Definitely. You want Falk not to have speed. He came blessed with 2 receivers that had 94 or above speed already.
And then a Hoppy.
And then D-Hop, who's D-Hop. And that's the most impressive on that. Like, he, you know, that's a guy he wouldn't play with usually. He usually trade him off. But he got him now, and that veteran, this is probably bailing him out in a situation. Because, you know, Nuke catching the ball, bro. I don't care who on him. He's going to make plays.
He's going to catch that shit,
It's just all about the user and how well does the user know how to get him involved, and he's doing a pretty good job with it. I am impressed. See, this game tells you what this game is about. When you see the runners, you see who give their guys the ball the most. You see what happens. You see what the yards look like, right? You see those guys that have abilities already at the running back position that's doing what they should be doing right now, right? So like a J.K. Dobbins, he's only on star. I'm very impressed with that, but he's at a coach. He's on a team where that's what the coach does, run the football. You see Ronald Jones, who he's now an X Factor now, but he's on a team where the coach runs the football. You're looking at Aaron Jones. He's a superstar. I'm impressed by him because he's at a coach that don't run the football. So you see the transition. The coach know to win, I got to run that ball with the player that, like, you can't have a superstar on your team at running back and not using.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're successful the way they are, and I think that's why Harold Brooks is playing at a high level right now. And I think because he can run the ball, and he found that he can run the ball, he ain't throwing as many interceptions that he usually would, and that's why his team is playing at the level of play that they're playing at right now because of that. So it goes hand in hand. Then you see who else? You got Boone with Nick Chubb. You got Dalvin Cook. You got these backs that got the Dalvin going to come up off for that, but Boone doesn't. You see what happens. You saw it. 27 carries last night, unstoppable. Like, this guy, it wasn't just a lean forward. He was a monster from start to finish. It was 4 minutes left, us down 7, and he never gave me the ball back. You know what I'm saying? That's a running back for you. That's what you're doing. Then you look at the receivers. What I'm impressed with is speed kills. So the game is showing you what it's about. You got fast receivers. You better scheme good defenses to stop these guys from going by you, because they will walk by you fast. And even though it feel like holding triangle is starting to come back a little bit, it's not all the way back yet still. It's not like it was in the beginning where you hold triangle, it was almost like you was getting penalized for it. You had to like really use your click on skills and hitting the right buttons. Now you see some guys still holding triangle and benefiting from it. But you got guys that you really can't do too much of holding triangle on, which is like a Jalen Waddles, a Tyreek Hill, Hollywood, and then you got Falk with this guy, and then you got Anthony Schwartz down there. Now, I'm impressed with these runners that's on normals and barely and just got the stars, and they rushing the way they rushing right now. So it's like a twofold, because if you on a team, you watching a guy run well with a running back that's a runner. I don't care what type of runner they got, whether he normal or superstar. Those guys run well anyway. That's what they do. So they're guaranteed to run. Their carries is going to match what they do yards wise. And then you got the guys that, you know, got these running backs that coming out of nowhere that they making names for themselves right now. That's in the league that you see a few of them doing that too. Because even with the Bucks having Ronald Jones ain't a running back that nobody really checks for, but he right now is in the MVP race.
Fucking problem. Yeah, he's a fucking problem. So,
And he's a fucking dog, right? So,
literally. So, yeah.
and you got the rookie guys that's coming up, and we following them and seeing what they can do. And you got Tyson Williams. Look what I'm doing with him. As a first year back. So you got things happening. Then you got some of these guys that that are just tight end. Look, the guys who they are. What Junior does with tight ends, right? Look what Gronk doing right now. And then I think the most impressive one I'm looking at right now is Seth Williams. Like, he literally just came off a practice squad, bro. This boy is their #1 receiver right now for the Lions. So guys are activated, man. They're putting it in. They doing their thing right now. And playing good football right now. So we'll talk about, once the week is over with, we'll talk about the award races and stuff later on though. But let's get into some things right now. We did have some games played, but the game the title I talked about, we got to come on here and talk about this game, bro. This was a hell of a game last night. A lot of guys, this is one of those situations where fans start to leave early.
Yep.
Fans walk out of the stadium, and if you was one of those fans that walked out the stadium, then you suck, because you should stay there and support your team to the end no matter what, right? And that's kind of what this game was about. I'm quite sure a lot of guys tuned out of this game second quarter when it was a 31 point score in the second quarter. This team was up 38-7, getting the ball back at halftime. Think about what I'm saying to you right now. The Browns had the Ravens 38-7 and got ball back at halftime. With them using the formula of Nick Chubb not being able to be stopped. It is no way in hell that game should have been a game. If you walked out of that stadium, you would have thought what you were supposed to thought. Now, I'm mad at you for walking out fast, but you're supposed to lead that game, right? Man, they can't stop Nick Chubb at all. And they losing 38-7 right now. And they get ball back at halftime after they just scored right before halftime. And they get the ball right back. There's no way the Ravens have a flying chance in this game. It is what it is. They got Chubb. Nick Chubb'ing was doing Chubb'ing shit that game. Chubb'ing. So we're going to dig in it. When they did this Chubb'ing thing in that game for sure. So let's dig into it. If you look at the box score, you see it. Cleveland went up 7-0, and then they scored 31 answered before Baltimore scored 17 right before halftime. Cleveland got the ball back at halftime. They scored 7. Baltimore scored. They tied them to 7 in that quarter, but they scored 21 unanswered in not unanswered, but 21 points in the second half, and Browns only scored 7. They did all their damage in the first half, right? That's why the dude that was on here that's from Boone's channel was saying what he was saying. The score don't show what really happened in that game at all, right? Because you kind of tuning out of it when you see they getting aired 38-17. Game's over, right? And then the Ravens made their little pushback, and they just could not get Chubb off the field. And again, this game came down to time of possession. They did a really good job managing the time of possession, 21-45, and then 7 first downs on 3rd and 4th down right now. That's big versus 1 for us, and then 23 first downs. I don't think you realize how much control of that game the Cleveland Browns had. That's why, and I'm not saying it because it's me. If this was anybody else that played this game and had the same shit that happened in this game happen to them, I would say the same thing. Nothing points to the Ravens being able to make this a 7-point game. Nothing does. 23 first downs, bro. The Cleveland Browns had 23 first downs. They were five. They got 5 third downs conversions and 2 fourth down conversions in that ball game. Nick Chubb went the fuck off. 27 carries for 202 yards. He was the guy of the day, right? And they still was able to throw the ball well too. So it's almost like the Ravens couldn't get the Browns off the field at all. So how did we come back in this game to make it a 1-point score with 4 minutes left? The comeback comes down to running, repetition, running the same shit over and over and over again, right? So when you're playing the Cleveland Browns, they run their offense. We know what we're going to see. You're going to get wildcat, you're going to get wide receiver swing passes, running back swing passes, and you're going to get tight end release. And we knew that. So in the second half, we was able to buckle down on that enough to be able to get a turnover twice in the second half that off of tight end delayed throws that we got picks on, and that gave us, and we scoring fast. We scored 21 out of the 7 points came off of one-play tutties, right? 14 points came off of one-play tutties, and then 7 came off of a turnover. We just could not get them off the field. The Browns did a really good job to close that game out. They chubbing. They was chubbing their ass off up and down the field in the last drive. The Dolphins did the same thing. They were able to run the ball very well to get a field goal, and then the Browns really wasn't looking for points. They just wanted to get the game over with, so they ran the clock out. Although they got in the red zone and probably could have scored again if he wanted to, but he didn't. So that's why you see a 45-38 game there. But the Cleveland Browns dominated this game from start to finish, and it started with their offense and Nick chubbing. Simple as that. Big game. I had to come talk about this game because it was a huge game played last night, and a lot of people tuned out of it fast because they were whooping the Ravens' ass in Baltimore. Baker Mayfield had a great day still, 317, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. In a run game, again, Nick Chubb, 27 carries, 202 yards, 7.5 yards a carry, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Tyson Williams had 81 yards on 8 carries. He averaged 10 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. But we are down so much, we couldn't run the ball. We had to throw the football. So even though he had 8 carries for 81 yards, and he was doing what I know he can do, which is run the ball against the Browns, because they're not going to better stop the run. But if they get a lead like that, you gotta better throw the ball to get back into it. Hollywood had 5 catches for 173 yards and a touchdown. But even Odell had a great game, 4 for 18, 2 touchdowns on the day. Hooper, all tight end delays. This guy had 4 catches for 104 yards. All 4 of them was tight end delays. All 4 of them. And you're trying to stop the run so much that you think he can sneak those shits in because you worrying about Chubb. You don't care about nobody else, right? And then Anthony Schwartz had 7 catches for 87 yards. Bateman had 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Tylan Wallace 2 catches for 73 yards. Hunt out the backfield. This is where Hunt got big at. Out the backfield on them swing passes. 5 catches for 40 yards. And then Puka had 2 carries for 27 yards. But again, we could not run the football. So we had to try to throw the ball, but Puka did pretty well in the passing game as well. Nick Chubb had a catch out the backfield for 8 yards. They dominated. They did really well. Who did what on defense, though? Let's look at it. This is how much we had to stop the run. Here, Chaz Surratt had 10. I had more than 3 players with almost 10 tackles, bro. 4. Chaz Surratt had 10 tackles. Sean Wade had 9. Dolphe Oway had 9. Rookie Donovan Steiner at safety had 8 tackles, and then you got John Johnson III with 7, and Hammer had 6, Elliott had 6, Patrick Queen had 6. Oh my God, bro, Jesus Christ, he was running that ball. Boom played football in a way that you'd never expect him to play. Boy, listen, if you do what he did to me to him, man.
Hey, but this boy ass as fuck, boy. I swear
to
God.
Running the ball all game long, niggas ass scared to throw the ball, this and that. But he threw the ball though, so you can't be like I said. It's the same thing when we messing with Craig. But he throwing the ball at a high level, and now a lot of it comes off of the fact that you so worried about the run game that the passing gonna be there because you got to sell out to stop the run. But when guys still throw for damn near 300 yards and they throw touchdowns too within that running, you got to give them credit, man. So at the end of the day, Boom had to play big time football because guess what? I came to play. I was coming to play that game to win, and he's coming to play that game to win. And not only are we a rival amongst each other, we're playing for the division. I'm only 1 game in front of him. Where are all these fucking fruit flies coming from? I'm only 1 game ahead of him. That win pitch gives him the 1 game over me in the division. Even though we have a tied record, it still gives him 1 game lead over me right now, especially with the Steelers right behind us with a 7-3 record right now. So all 3 of us got 3 losses right now. So each game is important. So you can't come into that game and play your football. You got to play the football that's going to win you the game, and that's what he did. So you got to give kudos to what he did in that game. and how he played, and expect that that's how he gonna play me, all the time. And the guys don't understand this. Sound like we cocky when we say that, but when I say guys gonna play me different, it's facts, bro. It's right in the numbers. You got a guy that want to throw bombs all game long and roll out a playmaker and tight end delay you all game long, although he tight end delayed me in that game. Ran the ball 30 times. You had a guy that, was bitching about running. The guy's running on him all crazy. Ran the ball on me to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and if I'm playing somebody that I respect and I know, I'm going to change up how I'm going to play. I'm going to play a lot more safer, and I'm probably going to run the ball a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So let's kill the narratives on these butt balls and guy this and that. Let's leave that alone, because when you got to win, you're going to do it yourself too. So, and that's great football, man, because guess what? If he did come out and how do you not do that when you just had a game like that against a top tier player where you didn't give Nick Chubb the ball like you should have second half because you was airing him and you figured it was over, and now you're gonna be an asshole and try to air him, and he came and scored on 47 unanswered on you. You're not gonna get that. Imagine that. Imagine if he lost another lead like that. There's no way he would have been comfortable with himself. He had to play that way, right? And it's gonna lead into a good matchup and a couple of advances too, because we're right back at it again. And it's a matchup you're going to pay attention to in the AFC North right now. Cleveland versus the Ravens right now. Right now the Cleveland Browns are 1 up, and then the Steelers are in the mix of don't y'all sleep on me over here. I am over here right now doing the same shit y'all doing. So it's good. So I like it. Again, the divisions are really balanced right now, and guys are playing at a high level right now. Very, very high level right now. Who had the INTs right now? Because both teams. So Steiner had 2, and Denzel Ward had 2. 2 picks in that game. Ward played really well. He showed who he was in that game, but we saw something. Young Steiner came up with 2 picks too. When you ask me how the practice squad rookies doing, there I go. One of them right there. All right, fellas, and here's the franchise guru. We will be back later on always. And if you are in the 48-hour league, and about 3-4 o'clock, I will be doing a show over there too. And we are going to be doing our rookie upgrade shit over there as well. So holler at me when you holler at me, you heard?